Pixel 5 is a cell phone that consumers purchase simply because of Google's amazing software and camera experience. Google's incredible image processing paired up with some pretty good hardware delivers some of the best pictures on any smartphone in 2020. And in this video, we'll be doing a full review on the Pixel 5 camera. Without further ado, let's get right into this video. And by the way, this is shot entirely on the Google Pixel 5. This time around, the Google Pixel 5 has two cameras on the rear and one camera on the front. The main camera features a 27mm lens with a 12.2 megapixel resolution and an f1.7 aperture. Google has been using this same sensor since the Pixel 3, which is pretty crazy to imagine. Anyway, this sensor provides great autofocus and optical image stabilization. There's no telephoto camera here, just a secondary ultra-wide lens that offers a 107-degree field of view, and it has an f2.2 aperture. In my opinion, this is so much better than the telephoto system we saw on the Pixel 4. Now, the 8-megapixel front camera has a 24mm lens and can deliver up to an f2.0 aperture. This hole punch selfie camera shoots with a crop of 1.4x by default, but can be expanded out. This gives the illusion of a dual camera system without that ugly, large dual camera cutout on the front. I love the fact that the Pixel 5 has an IP68 water and dust resistant rating. This rating means the phone has protection against dust and water submersion up to 3 feet in up to 30 minutes. The fact is, Google's smart software plays such a huge role on its excellent camera experience. Let's begin with that main sensor. The 12.2 megapixel sensor balances broad additional ranges with rich colors and a realistic look. Subjects tend to look reliably great, whether being a person, an animal, or even a landscape. The detail is absolutely fine for a 12 megapixel camera phone. Now, the HDR Plus mode has a great balance at not overexposing the highlights and underexposing the shadows, even when the lighting is considerably harsh. The pictures are detailed and the colors look very natural, as I expected from a Pixel device. Honestly speaking, images on the wide angle look just as great as the main sensor. The same qualities exhibited by the main camera, such as great dynamic range, tonal and color balance, can be found on the ultra-wide shots. There's very little distortion, and night sight helps it a lot when the light drops. Despite the sensor having a 60 megapixel resolution, it isn't that sharp as a main camera when shooting subjects less than 3 feet away. Little surprised given it doesn't pack autofocus, which is a bummer. I guess this is expected because you're not going to be using the ultra-wide lens for any macro photography. Regardless, this is the best wide-angle camera on any phone that I've ever used so far. The 8-megapixel front camera still has one of the best portrait modes thanks to Google's amazing software processing. The front camera is very detailed, pictures look natural, and the dynamic range looks really great for a front-facing camera system on a phone. Honestly speaking, this is a fire front-facing camera, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to enjoy taking selfies on this one. Anyway, with this camera, you can crop in up to 1.4x without losing any quality. This can also be expanded out. The video captured at 4K 60 FPS looks fantastic on the Pixel 5. It's beautifully held together with 4 stabilization options, including standard, locked, active, and cinematic pan. I personally really enjoyed the cinematic pan mode as I shot some really cool looking B-roll and was honestly pretty impressed with it. It also has locked and active stabilization, which crops in a bit but provides really amazing stabilization once you tap on the subject you are focusing on. In addition, videos deliver shallower depth than I expected and focus both smoothly and quickly. However, in low light, it doesn't hold up very well like most smartphone cameras. The Pixel 5 camera records at 1080p at 30 frames per second. It's not the best front-facing camera I've seen on a phone, but it will get the job done for your Snapchats, Instagram stories, and maybe a vlog here and there, but I would not suggest this as a main vlogging camera. With that being said, Google has done an incredible job at improving the video side of things on their Pixel devices. Let's talk about some of the camera features that are core essential to the Pixel device. This is a feature that defines the Pixel lineup. The night sight puts many flagship cameras to shame because of its amazing hardware and software processing. The low light shots are awesome and provides considerable less noise than before. The portrait mode on this is now better than ever with the inclusion of portrait night sight. The front and back camera both perform well in all lighting conditions because of Google's algorithm processing, which has great edge detection. You can also put in an artificial lighting effect in the Google Photos application. You can just tap the photo, hit adjust, and go over to portrait light. This actually works surprisingly well, and it's one of my favorite features on the camera application. The back camera also captures great portrait photos with plenty of detail, and you also get that same portrait lighting effect on the Google Photos application. The Pixel 5 can capture 120 or 240 frames per second slow motion video, which paired with a cinematic pan mode makes some awesome B-roll. Astrophotography is just as great as it was on previous Pixel devices, but it now also allows you to capture images using that ultra-wide camera, which means you can capture more of the sky at once. Overall, there's a quote that says, "Simplicity without which no human performance can arrive at perfection." The Pixel 5's camera is simple to use and easily the best in its budget. With its insane software optimization, Google is really putting their work into making the best camera experience for everyone. With that said, this has been Victor Camango with another Everything Technology video. Thank you for watching my review on the Pixel 5 camera. If you didn't get a chance to watch my previous video on the Pixel 5, go check that out. It'll be linked down in the description, or a card will pop up on one of these sides of the screen. If you aren't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to click on that subscribe button and click on that bell icon. That way you're notified when I drop my full review on this device. If you'd like to see what I do outside of this YouTube stuff, go check me out on social media at Victor's Fits on Instagram, Twitter, and even Facebook. Well, other than that, that's it. Comment below if you have any feedback. If you'd like to see more great content like this. Thank you. Bye.